One of the most simple and yet useful modifier is subdivision surface. And for accessing the modifier, you can come to the modifier and add modifier. And if I go to the generate, you can see that this is subdivision surface. We also have a lot of other type of modifier, but for now, generate subdivision surface. And the moment I click on subdivision surface, you can see that it's gonna make my object more smooth. Subdivision surface have levels, and each level it's gonna split your faces one. For example, this is my real face, and level 1 it's gonna split my face to 1. And if I go to the level 2, we can see that it's gonna split my face again, level 2, and level 3 is the same. And it also gonna, let me delete this, and it also gonna smooth my object based on the level that you choose. But if you don't like to smooth your object, you can change the cat molecular to simple to just add edge. And the benefit of subdivision surface is that while it is active on your object, if I go to the edit mode, you can see that my edges are the same, and I don't need to work on many edges that you can see in, for example, the object mode. So let me talk more about the modifiers menu. At the top right, you see this cross, and if I click on it, the modifier is gonna be removed. And you can see we're back to the first object. And let me add the modifier again from add modifier, generate subdivision surface. And after the cross, we have also an arrow, and if you click on arrow, you can either duplicate your modifier or apply. Right now, we only can see the preview of our modifier on our object, but if you press apply, this edge and the smoothness is gonna add to the object, and in edit mode you have to work on all the edges with the modifier, and the modifier is gonna be removed. So if I press apply, the modifier is gonna be removed, and if I go to the edit mode, you can see that now I can work on all the added edges to my object. So I'm gonna press Ctrl Z a couple of times. The next option is for render. Right now I can see my object in 3D view. If you press render and see, for example, want to see your object with light, if this icon is active, even in render you see the modified object. But if you deactivate this icon in time of the render, it's gonna back to this version of your object for rendering. And as you can see, the next icon is for the real-time view, and right now we are in real time. And if you want to hide the modifier, you can press on this icon to hide your modifier. And if I deactivate these two icons and go to the edit mode, you can see that I only see my first object. But if I press on this icon and activate it, you can see that the edges of my object are the same as before, but the surface of object is gonna show the preview of the subdivide modifier. And this is how it works. If it deactivated, it's gonna show me the first object, and if I activate it, it's gonna show me the preview of my modified object. And you can see that I also can change the size of my edges, and the modifier is gonna show me the preview of that shape based on the modifier. So let me back a couple of steps. And the next one, if you activate it, you don't see the edges of your first object. You can only work on the preview, and when I activate it, you can see right now I only see the preview of my modified object. and not gonna see the first object. And what I mean is, if I change my edges right here and change it, for example, to something like this one, you think that this is your real object, but your real object is this one and not this one, and this is just a preview. Okay, so this is for render, this is for real time, this is for only see the surface in edit mode, and this is for only see the preview and hide the real edge of the object. So let me back to the object mode, and this is all the thing for now about the modifier. You're gonna use the modifiers in a lot of situations because you can change the shape of your object with modifiers without adding edge to your object in the edit mode, and that is the usefulness of the modifiers. And every time you want, you can delete modifiers so that your object turn back to what it was. And the subdivision modifier is one of the most simplest one because you can smooth your object without adding more edge. And you can subscribe or like or comment if you want. But if you don't, see you on the next video.